to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Your online radio. New online radio that makes you happy.
This is Jaffrey Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Your online radio. New online radio that makes you happy.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Hello, viewers. This is Jaffrey Radio, and you are listening to Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home comes to you on every Sunday afternoon, Japan time, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Home Sweet Home. You are welcome. Let me quickly introduce my able panelist here. It's in the person of Mr. Kweku Edu and Dcns Naomi Asari Zotto. And myself, I'm your host, Abena Pomaa Forkuo. You can call me Abena Pomaa. Okay, thank you so much for watching us. Let me quickly acknowledge our sponsors for Home Sweet Home program. We have Bayside Modeling Agency. Bayside Modeling Agency deal with modeling. And if you are a model and you need an agency, just contact Bayside Modeling at email info@bay-side.biz. info@bay-side.biz. Or you can call, if you are in Japan, 035413 3252. Or if you are outside Japan, you can call +81 354 13 3252. The Church of Pentecost, Japan. Church of Pentecost, Japan have 6 branches. We have Kawaguchi Central.
This is Jafric Radio.
Odaikyo Sagamihara, Nagoya, Osaka, Yokosuka PIWC, Tokyo Shinjuku PIWC. If you need a place of worship, you can go to any of these areas to worship at Church of Pentecost. We have Zion Company Limited. Zion Company Limited also deal with narrations, MCs, and translations. So if you are a translator and you need a place or an agency to join, you can call Zion Company Limited at 0354133253, or you can email Zion Company Limited at info@zionvoice.biz. And we have Afro Kids Japan. Afro Kids Japan also deal with Afro kids have mix Japan, or if you're an American have mix, you can also contact Afro Kids on Facebook. Afro Kids train or educate the mixed blacks on their culture and also teaching them how to do modeling. We have Simon Noble Solicitors. Simon Noble Solicitors also deal with legal issues. If you have any legal matter, you can contact Simon Noble Solicitors at www.simonnoble.solicitors.com. And then we have Turmeric Hotel. It's at East Legon, Accra. If you need a place to take rest, you can contact Turmeric Hotel at www.turmerichotel.com. We have Willie Knox Jeans, and we have 1225 Jeans, and also Fenon Enterprise. They also deal with import and export. Once again, viewers, you are welcome to Home Sweet Home. My name again is Abena Pomaa, or you can call me Abena Pomaa Forkuo. A woman with a long name. Okay, yeah, today discussion, we are still on marriage and money. Money matters. But before we start, I want to read a very, let me say, a sad story that we retrieved from internet about how unforgiveness can cause a very huge damage in our marriages. Unforgiveness. So please, it's kind of a little long, but just stay tuned and listen to it. The story is a true story. It said, my wife died because of my pride. My wife died because of my pride. Winfrey and I had a little argument over breakfast on a Monday morning while we were both preparing for the day's job. My anger was with was with the way she spread the butter on the bread that morning. It was quite rough and not pleasant.
This is Jafric Radio.
Though I corrected her with my voice sounding like a tender all over the room, but I never knew it would lead to this. If I had known, I would have overlooked and ate the bread without uttering a word after all. I ate it still. Oh, hearing the way I rose my voice at her really made her mad, and she left the dining without having breakfast that morning, and off she went to work without me that day, not even saying goodbye to each other. I was mad. She was mad too. And our mistake was that none of us was willing to come to like terms. We returned from work that evening without talking to each other. We had dinner separately and went to bed without exchanging pleasantries. Oh. Tuesday came and passed on. So was Wednesday and Thursday morning. Thursday evening at dinner, she said hi, but I was too proud to respond. So I nibbled on my meal and left the table hurriedly, but all along. She was simply smiling. She was simply smiling at her baby husband. Winfrey is truly a great beauty to behold. Her smiles melt every tough heart. So in a bid to avoid falling my own hands, I hurriedly left the table. If at all we will end this war, she will be the one to say sorry, not me. I won't let her beauty lure me into saying sorry. This I murmured as I left the dining to the bedroom, but she kept on smiling. She got into the room and straight she went into the bedroom. While bathing, she kept singing. If we were in good terms, I would have sung along since that was my favorite song, but my pride robbed me the opportunity to end the drama I had with her. Before she could get to bed that night, I was fast asleep. It was some minute past 3 a.m. at Friday morning when I felt her hand on my body tapping me non-stop. I quickly pushed her hands away and got myself covered with the blanket. Sincerely, I thought she was tapping me just to get into Jerusalem. Okay. I never knew that would be the last time I'll feel her touch. I fell asleep in the process and wake up 15 minutes past 7 a.m. And I quickly dive into the bathroom because we were almost late for work. I wake up, got dressed, had breakfast, and Winfrey was fast asleep still. My pride never gave me the opportunity to talk to her, so I left her in bed and off I went to work. Long story cut short, I returned home on Friday evening, meeting virtually everything at the same spot I left in that morning. The doors were wide open. The table was left unkept. A cold chill ran through my vein. I dived for the stairs, having my wife in heart. On getting to the room, the door was wide open. Winfrey was still in bed, and at the same position I left her before leaving the house that morning. My phone fell from my hand, so I muted instantly, rushing towards her. Baby started as my hands went all over her. Her body was cold. Unknowingly, I peed on my trousers instantly. I placed my head on her chest and realized she wasn't breathing. I shouted the name of Jesus at the top of my voice, and I brought her closer to me, having her in my arms. My baby was gone already. There was no life in her. Her body was terribly cold. It was still like a movie to me, not until her body was being laid to rest. At that moment, I realized my wife died on my bed. I couldn't cry nor laugh. My head was spinning like I was gonna go mad anytime soon. I feel terribly on inside. If only I could turn back the hands of time. Winfrey was asthmatic. When she was tapping me that morning, she was having a crisis which only her inhaler.
This is Jafric Radio.
She was probably tapping me to help get it for her, but my pride kept me away. I lost the woman I truly love to the cold hands of death carelessly. If there was no quarrel that morning, my beautiful wife would still be among the living today. It's been 3 cold weeks she left. My world is shattered. I am void of love. If only I could turn back the hands of time, I would have right my wrong. Bottom line is, should we end here or continue give the advice that he wrote? Okay, said, bottom line is, dear courting and married people, never should you left the night fall without settling that misunderstanding between your spouse and you. Never give the devil a chance to prove himself in your home and relationship. Your spouse is your partner, not your competitor. No one has ever been awarded for being the best grudge keeper. Wise people keep their home and relationship. Careless people gives the devil a chance to prove himself. Choose wisdom over anger. Doc, when I read this story, I cried because I was, wow. Is it true story? Is it happening?
Well,
very sad.
Thank you very much, Dcns. This is one of the sad stories I've ever read. When I read it myself, I began to ask myself a lot of questions. So many things were going through my mind. And because I needed to really understand how each of the family, each of these couples felt on the first day when they quarreled. Quarreling in marriage, I would say, is normal. Because the two of you are coming from two different homes. There is no way you're going to agree on certain things. You may agree on some of them. You may have, there will be the possibility that you all agree on some few things, but not everything. Even twins do not agree on so many things. Two people who stay in the same womb, in the same room, sometimes wear the same clothes, don't agree on so many things. How much more two different people who were brought up in two different homes under different conditions, be it financial, social, economic, what have you, different conditions altogether. So quarreling in marriage is expected. As a human being, it is expected. But I think our problem is that most of us carry our pride into marriage. I feel too bossy to tell my wife when I know that I am wrong, that I'm sorry. Most of us, we feel like the word I'm sorry, it's not in our dictionary. It's not part of our vocabulary. There are things we never learned. But I bet you, one of the things that can heal wounds is the word, I'm sorry. Imagine when your partner have wronged you and you are filled with anger. You want to devour your partner. And immediately your partner says, honey, I'm sorry. Without any explanation. You see that your heartbeat immediately restores to normal. Your pressure comes down. And you see that, whoa, I'm now the person I know, or I used to be. What happened between these two couples, I would say, is something normal. The wife felt too big at a point in time. The husband also felt too big at a point in time. But what I love about what the man said was, the wife at a point in time kept smiling at her. And you see, that is why I always say that when you are courting, when you are dating, try and explore and know some of the weak points and the strength of your partner. The wife quickly realized that, if I smile at my husband, no matter how he feels or how angry he is, he will come down. And the husband also knew it, that this smile from the wife means something. So immediately the husband avoided looking at the woman. Wow.
The wife even said hi.
And I don't know. Well, I don't want to go into the biblical way, because if these two couples are really Christians, I think they better go back to kindergarten. I am telling you, they better go and start from stage 1. Because this is so childish. At a point where they were in bed, the woman was trying to tap the husband. One of the things that I love when I quarrel with my wife is the moment when in the evening, or when we are sitting in the evening, either watching television together or doing my own thing somewhere, and you see that the hand of my wife either patting me, holding me, It's so lovely, so nice. You immediately have to throw your pride away. You immediately have to throw your anger away. And either hold back her hand, and immediately whatever brought a quarrel is settled. And I felt so bad at a point when the man said the wife tapped him, and he felt that I know this woman, I know this lady, she want to go to Jerusalem. Excuse me. That is one of the nicest way of settling disputes. It's one of the beautiful ways of settling disputes. And to be frank with you, I love that way of settling dispute. And so to end it, I felt ashamed as a man. I felt ashamed as a man to see someone's wife dying because of the pride of the husband. It hurt my heart. My heart was really bleeding when I read that story. How can you allow your wife to die because of your pride? Because you couldn't say, I'm sorry? At a point in time when you saw that the woman had calmed down, that was when you were supposed to also calm down. You know, sometimes you see, we say our actions speaks louder than our words. The woman was trying to tell the man that, I'm sorry, honey. Though I couldn't use the word I'm sorry. But the man was still insistent. Until the woman says it, I am not ready to accept it. You know, those things happens in our marriages. It happens every day. Unfortunately, she passed away. Because I know of couples who got divorced because of toothpaste. A toothpaste. Just that. And these people, the woman died because of
spreading of butter in the bread.
I'm sorry.
So serious.
So, in fact, if you are listening to us wherever you are, if you're watching us wherever you are, if you have a quarrel with your partner, find a way.
This is Jafric Radio.
Of settling this quarrel before it turns into something that will be out of hand.
All right, Doc, let me quickly make this announcement. Viewers, you can subscribe this program on YouTube, and just please subscribe button on the YouTube to like our page, the jafricradio.org or Clemsy Me. jafricradio.org or Clemsy Me. Or you can still like this page on Facebook, Jafric Radio on Facebook or Clemsy Me. Okay, Mama, common bread.
Yes, it's a very
Butter
sad story. But this thing usually happens in our homes. It is very, very common. So it is like forgiveness should be the water we drink, the food we eat, the air we breathe. Pride is a destroyer. So we need to try as much as possible to do away with that thing. And listening to the story, I'm sorry is a powerful word, as you said. It is very, very powerful. Even if your child does something and you are so angry, just the person saying, I'm sorry, it calms you down. So I will not blame the man also so much. Both of them were in it. At a point in time, the lady was ready to make amends. Had she also said, I'm sorry, maybe after smiling and saying, hi baby, I'm sorry, even that word alone could have also saved something. You know, two captains cannot be in the same boat. So if you realize that the other party is not ready, you should take it up. Saying I'm sorry doesn't mean weakness. It is the strong that are able to say sorry, even if the problem is not coming from them. So for peace to settle, the man can decide to be the let me say, how will I say it? should rather come down, or the vice versa. It is the two of us. We are not competitors. We are partners. So in one way or at another time, you could also take it up, even if the problem is not coming from you. Then later, if everything is settled and you are in your good mood, you try to explain how this thing went. I don't think this should be the best. So as I said, I'm sorry. We shouldn't say some men see it as if it is only the women who should always say I'm sorry. It is the women who should always apologize. Some men find it difficult to say I'm sorry. Same also, some women also does the same thing. So to be able to have peace in our marriages, we should try as much as possible to make this word I'm sorry, I love you, thank you, be in our dictionary daily, and it goes a long way to solve so many problems, like the one we are discussing about money. Money is one of the things that bring quarrel into marriages. So if we have these words in our mouth, it will go a long way to do us so much good. It's really, really, really sad. But we should learn from this that it will not happen in our marriages as we are listening and watching.
But looking at this, the man gave that lady opportunity to say so, because as she tried to even say hi and smile, he just quickly left from the table. So
maybe in that case, you see that there is a word that it says love conquers all. Sometimes I realize that with my son. Anytime he's so angry or he's not ready to listen or anything, sometimes if I hold her and push him tightly, you say that then he just calms down. So in that case, well, the woman wouldn't know, but maybe they would have stayed for some time. So maybe at that very moment, maybe, baby, I'm sorry. Maybe just held it because he was almost getting down, just with a smile, because the woman knows that my husband likes my smile. So she started. And
even
so
she
maybe
was singing the
you
song
see?
that the guy loves so much.
So this thing, we shouldn't see marriage ourselves as competitors.
Right.
Yes, you were singing, and so like just do something to bring the person back. It should be the understanding. It is not easy, but these are part of some of the challenges we face in marriage, and some ways to.
It's true. And had I known, it's always at last.
Yeah, and
the man regretted at the later part.
But it's too late.
Wow. I mean, if something happened to the man in the same way the woman would have regretted.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another way they would have approached this quarrel or trouble or whatever we may call it in the house was, one of them should have broken the silence.
Exactly.
In our local language, you say, "Itu echa wasra, idiewu."
I have never heard this.
Oh, sir. Itu echa wasra, idiewu.
Wow. Meaning?
It's trying to tell you, if we don't settle matters as early as possible.
Exactly. You are right.
This same matter will turn into something
else
that we may never like it.
Because the Bible also said it that we shouldn't allow the sun to go down on our anger.
That's
because sometimes after that anger, I decide to do something good. Because you have that anger in you, it will become bad.
This is
So
Jafric
it keeps
Radio.
adding. adding. So earlier settle, those addition will not come, because when it happens like that, the devil also has chance to bring so many things.
Exactly.
You think about so many things.
So I mean, always, you rightly said two captains cannot
Be in the same boat.
Yeah.
That's not possible. It is in this same, from this same angle that we can say that two wise men can never live under one roof. It is not possible. One will have to turn into a foolish person. Let me put it that way. For some of these things to be settled.
Yeah.
We say that in one of our proverbs. We say that kokosechi. Devinye kokosechi. Abo your friends say. Abo tuntumu or no tuntumu.
Opete.
Devinye pete. Kwa debiana. Odene kwasia.
Okukatichi. Epenyincheri.
Here because debi obi didi ko bola so.
Okay.
O mafie mi didi. Nti ye fe say o ye kwasia. But odi penyinche.
Wow.
Odi penyinche. Nti if I decide to say I'm sorry, if I try to calm down, even if I am not at fault, look, I'm not old, I'm a very young guy, but I've learned a lot. Because before I went into marriage, I took my time, I read a lot, and even in my marriage, I tried to buy marriage books to read myself, and there are some that I buy and I especially dedicate it to my wife. Whether you like it or not, you read it. Because we have to grow. One thing I've realized is, if you are able to break the silence immediately, you can always do so many things together and in a very fast manner. When people are spending days and hours thinking or quarreling, you just spend like 5-10 minutes quarreling, and within the next 5-10-20 minutes you settle it down.
Right.
So let's learn to break silence when we are faced with matters of this nature, because nobody knows where it might end up.
Yeah.
It takes maturity to say I'm sorry.
It does.
If you are not mature, it will be difficult for you to say I'm sorry.
And I really love it, because you rightly said, if you say I'm sorry, it doesn't mean you are weak.
It is the
It doesn't mean you are
right.
foolish.
No.
It rather means that you are
strong.
matured and you are strong.
Exactly.
right.
That is the meaning of.
Because only
That's right.
bold men,
Apologizing.
and but let me put it here, bold men are able to say, I am sorry, even when their partner is at fault. Even when their partner is at fault. These are people who are marriage materials. They really want their marriage to flourish.
So viewers, if you want your marriage to be peaceful, never let sorry depart from your mouth. I'm sorry. And mommy say, I love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Adofulum daye patre nyina ni se. Enyoma bebree sisi ewa awarem. Story a yekan ne tintin yi. Abrantie bi a wanfa nche ne yere. Na ne wiye no, oba no, ohwere no. Na so uti abrantie n'anum asema na odo ne yere pa. Nanso so amfa nche. Eni ahomaso kakra. Enyame ne wose me pachew. Ono na wafom me. Enti wose ono na opa me chew. Mempene. Neni ba ne ho so no. Na ne dofo pa odo na waware no. Na ofri ne nsa. Ofri ne nsa wieye. Ansa na onye no ho. Nanso kebra asem kakra bi siye
Mr. Kwakwedu kasa o si obi kra ni yiri eni ni kun paste kakra ho om di betwitri om se no etimi dia wareja ye ba obi si me yiri kra eye nkwan me si onwere carrot no ho oba no so se carrot de no wo were ho a ahoodin nim enu kra mpa egu aware no ensem ni bi wa ha oti obeka say ye drama but na ye real situations and real issues e koso e wo ya ware mu enti se fie be ye da adofo no mumma ye hwe yakoma so yi senia ye besi eni ye nkununom ye yirenom eni yadofo atenase asumdwem home sweet home.
This is Jafric Radio.
It's yesremo. If I me read this story no, na ma buto, na me raho, se she se, ebufuo kakra yi etimi amoni pa hwere ne nkwa. Obi kusieti ho eba news na watwese kan etwitwa ne yere ko because obana amfa kusieti anto ne duane so. A lot of things are going on. So married couples must be vigilant and be careful.
And I think another thing too, let us make up our mind that let me put it this way. It is a decision to be angry or not to be angry. You can decide to get angry. You can decide not to get angry.
That one is difficult, because sometimes, depending on what happens.
Yeah, so, it's true. You see,
that
there is a book. There is a book.
Yeah,
that was written by one of the Nobel Prize winners. It's called "Thinking Fast and Slow." I love that book.
Really, I have to look for it. Because when I said that, yes, please, I need it. When I said that, if you look at anger, it does more harm to the person who is angry than the person on which the anger is being poured. So if this anger is going to do too much harm to me, why do I have to decide to be angry?
No, the whole thing
this is Jafric Radio.
Just a moment. You see, some of these things are spontaneous, involuntary.
Okay.
It comes just like that.
Yes, it
like
comes.
that.
So
you see Moses.
So can you decide
after
not
waiting for 40 days, pleading for forgiveness of the children of Israel, and the 10 commandments was handed over to him. At the point that he was returning back, looking at what they were doing, he just threw it away.
Yes, he was angry. He didn't stay in the anger. But you see what the anger also caused? That one that he broke, the Lord himself wrote it with his own hands. The second one, he said it and Moses wrote it. You know? So the harm that hunger causes, it's so huge. So when I came to the understanding that you can't decide to be angry, it helped me a lot.
You know, I think one of these days we have to deal with the topic of
anger
management.
Yes,
anger management,
because it's another issue that can really make our home.
Because when you are angry, things that you say, things that you do, when you go back and sit down and analyze it, it's something else. There are so many things you are going to regret. There are so many actions you take during your anger, and you can never clean it. You can never reverse it. So why not? You can be, as you said, sometimes it's involuntary, but decide not to stay in it. Decide not to stay there. Decide that yes, I should be angry, but I will not stay in the anger. I should let it go, because this anger, it could even cause you have this thing, misunderstanding with your partner. You cannot sleep. You'll not be able to sleep. So when I realized that I just within my heart I have let go. So sometimes you'll be sleeping and the other person, even it will make the other person even more angry. Look at this person. Yes, the other what is it? So I think if you decide not to, it's
it depends. We'll have to take time and talk about it, because sometimes you know what, when you quarrel with your partner, I think it has happened to all of us before. Probably we've not realized it. How many times do you go for your phone when you quarrel with your partner, trying to see if you've received a message from your partner? How many times? When you quarrel with your partner, especially when you are not in the same house, you are a little bit far away, you've gone to work, or so at any moment you want to pick up your phone and
see what the best.
Yes.
Exactly.
You see the sort of stress the two of you put yourself.
So as I was saying,
we'll take time and talk about this.
It's a decision. So let us decide not to. We should have that mindset not to. So yes, you might be angry, but Sugu, take it out. Yes. Immediately, yes. Just take it out.
Immediately.
Yes, take it out. Take it out from your heart, because it's going to do you too much harm. Even if you see the person coming, your heart beats. If you have high blood pressure, it's going. So if you don't take it away, it will bring too many things. Add too many things. So
Viewers,
I think we should advise ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very soon we'll go on break. When we come back, we'll talk about money and marriage. Now we are discussing about the anger, how to control our anger in order not to fall victim in issues. Yeah. So, to me, what both of them did wasn't good at all. They should have find.
This is Jafric Radio.
The two of them were angry at the same time.
Common butter on bread. I don't know how. Was it just spreading it?
Maybe she was in a hurry, as he said. Maybe they were getting prepared to go to work. So maybe at that point, just saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for spreading the bread like that." So maybe knowing, because he's already angry. So if I should add it, two flames.
But mommy, sometimes you may wake up from the bed, nothing happened, but you got angry. Especially men.
Men.
Nothing happened. You have not
so?
said anything wrong, but you got angry.
There is no smoke
Without a fire.
Really?
without fire. You know what? I think this answers what you're trying to say. You will never see any smoke without fire. Wherever you see a smoke, there is fire burning somewhere.
Right.
We try to, gather our things that our partners do to us, which we do not like. We try to gather them little by little. And so we easily explode without any reason.
Wow.
But I think for this one, ladies are good at this than men. For this one, I can say ladies are good at this than men. Sometimes you realize that your partner can explode without any reason. It is because what you did to her about 2 weeks ago is connected to what you did to her about a week ago. Connected to that morning thing.
Wow.
And that her, her mother's thing, that her uncle's party thing. It's interconnected, intertwined. By the time I realize, she's exploding. I think ladies are good at this than men. But anyway, we really want to make our home sweet.
Yeah,
But
sweet.
can I ask, maybe especially the morning one that you usually get angry, could it be because you were not able to enter the palace? Could it be?
For that one, I can say yes. Sometimes I'm telling you. You know what? I mean, no couple should wake up in the morning in an angry mood. No couple should ever try it because you spoil the whole day.
It's true.
Sometimes when you see a couple, you see two couples in a vehicle, and probably the man driving and the woman beside him. When you see that the woman has frowned her face, you should understand what happened at dawn. When you see the woman smiling,
you should understand.
Oh, come on, you should be able to understand what happened at dawn. And I bet you, going to Jerusalem at dawn is one of the best ways to start the day. It puts a lot of smile on the faces of the couples.
Must we go to Jerusalem
every day?
No.
No. That is no. I mean, that cannot be. That is not possible. That is not possible. No, we shouldn't go. I mean, it's not possible because too much of everything
is bad.
Is bad. Too much of everything is bad. So no, I wouldn't encourage that. No. I mean, it helps. It puts your relationship with your partner. It put it on a new level. It gives it some refreshment. It gives it some strength. Early morning. I mean, ladies, you can attest to that. When you wake up in the morning, especially when you see a lady singing at the same time sweeping, doing house chores, immediately understand where she's coming from.
How about men smiling?
Mostly. In the same way, when you see a man, especially in the morning, trying to wash his car, whispering, singing, understand where he's coming from.
But what I
the advice,
advise,
3 minutes to go on break.
The advice,
and after that we will come back. So stay tuned.
The advice I will give to couples in that situation, maybe you wake up, one person is angry, is receive that with love. Don't give back what you were giving to. Try to change the situation. It depends on how you two handle certain things. Sometimes you can decide not to retaliate. We women, most of the time, our mouth disturb us. The man is already angry. How you are going to confront the man too is going to be another. So you can decide not to talk about it. Do your normal duty as you are expected to do, and maybe later, when he comes back or she comes back to his or her normal mood, then you ask what happened this time, this day, how did it go? But when we try to give back what we are given, that is when it brings it add up to create a very big problem. So we should try as much as possible not to give back what we are given, but to receive it with love and things that will help.
Receive it with love. We'll go on break and we'll come back soon. So viewers, stay tuned. You can also send your comments to us. Just watch the screen. Our numbers are there. You can send your comment or you can call in later. Okay. Thank you. Stay tuned. Wow. Now, in fact, let me do one. Which one?
Make
This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio.
Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Home Sweet Home live at Jafric Radio. Yeah, before we go to money and marriage, let me read the comments that has the messages that has come in. Elder Ernest is watching us right now.
This Ernest.
And Kodabi said, great discussion. Mrs. Gloria Owusu, silent at the moment of anger is the best antidote. And then Dickness Adelaide answer, say, why are you talking about partner? Is there such word in the Bible? I know about marriage, but not partner. Let's not adopt the worldly standard talk, but continue with the biblical talk. Talk about marriages and not partner. Thank you. And Mr. Frank Atta said, what I know in marriages is both partners has
to be like
fools. Okay. Mama said we shouldn't talk
Or we shouldn't say
uh,
partners.
Well,
But we should say
yes, I do
marriages.
agree, because the word partner sometimes connote, sometimes trying to mean that two people who are into something that is profitable, and anybody can back off at any point in time.
That's right.
But we're talking about marriage is something that you cannot back off. It's not a contract.
Okay.
I'm a partner to this business deal. We enter into partnership, but marriage is not a partner. It's not something like that sort of partnership that is geared towards making profit. But it's something that is eternal, whether you like it or not. You have to stay in to make it better. From that point, I will agree with her. From that point, I will agree with her. But I mean, the moment you go into marriage, whether you like it or not, from the marital aspect, we can still say you're partners. I don't think, but I think how you interpret it sometimes makes it, or you can give it a different meaning altogether.
Yeah.
And I really love what Miss Gloria also said about that. Silence at the moment, at the moment of anger is the best antidote. But a long and a prolonged silence can never be an antidote in the midst of anger. A prolonged silence. At a time when either your husband or you're quarreling with your husband or your wife, at that moment, one of you should go into silence. The other one is the best. I do agree with you, madam. But not when the two of you have stayed silent for like 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and you still want to be silent? No. A prolonged one. That's why we always say, too much of everything is bad. So from that angle, we can say that a prolonged silence in the midst of anger is not the best.
So I agree with her too. Yes. So we should try as much as possible not to get angry at the same time. If the two of you, the husband and the wife, gets angry at the same time, is disastrous.
Exactly.
So one person should try as much as possible not to be angry with the other person who is already angry. So in this case, with the silence, as she said, is very good. You try to just ignore it. Sometimes to the ignoring to also annoys again. Yeah, sometimes we are trying not to talk, and it's also another
Look
thing.
at the way he doesn't even care.
Exactly. So I think the silence too, God should help us to do it in a way that it, because sometimes the silence too becomes another problem.
Yeah.
So true. In all this, it is only the wisdom of God. Marriage is under attack. From the genesis of marriage, it was under attack because the devil knows that the replica of God is on earth. So what will I do? I have to do something. So marriage has been under attack from the genesis, and we are still fighting the battle. But we are so much blessed that with God on our side and his wisdom and his spirit filling us, we'll be able to sail through, because I would not lie to anyone. Marriage is a very wonderful and beautiful thing.
Of course. Marriage is very wonderful and beautiful thing that God has made.
Exactly.
And you can call us on this number +81 70 4231 9331. If you want to contribute, if you want to give your comments, just call +81 70 4231 9331. Marriage and money. We just want to touch on what we left last week about marriage and money. We discussed a lot how to do joint savings and also having our separate accounts that we can still operate in, and also how to share responsibilities as far as our the money is concerned. Yeah, so we just want to discuss more because we have seen that money matters is bringing a lot of issues and a lot of problems in our marriages.
Exactly.
And we need to talk about it. This program, our goal is to see that every home is sweet and every couple enjoy their second heaven
That's right.
on earth.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we want everyone to enjoy their marriages that God has blessed them with. And we have seen that money, especially those in abroad, we have a lot of issues about money. So, Doc, Mr. Kwekwedu and Mama, we will talk about. I think a call is coming in.
Okay, we can pick up the call.
Yes, let's pick the call first. Hello. Hello, caller. Yeah, here is Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program. Hello.
Yes, my name is Mrs. Gloria Usu.
Oh, Mrs. Gloria Rusu. Okay.
I'm calling from Ghana.
You're calling from Ghana.
That's
Oh,
great.
Mrs. You're welcome to this
Yes.
program. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
The gentleman was explaining about the prolonged silence.
Okay.
The silence I was talking of
Mm.
is that sometimes the silence explains the whole situation within that period of silence.
Okay.
Maybe whatever was going on with your partner or in your marriage
Okay.
plays out to you.
Mm.
The silence helps you not to say certain things that you regret saying within that hot period.
Okay.
The prolonged one, as he said, is not good for the marriage either. But I think at least 24 hours or whatever calms the temper down, then you can then assess the situation and talk to your partner about it.
Great.
Anyway, you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Gloria.
And quickly
Usu.
to my friend, I've forgotten the name, the lady.
Oh,
Naomi.
just Dickness
And,
now.
and bless everyone. Hope to see everyone next week Sunday.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. Thank you. Okay. Right. Bye.
Okay, yes, we've been talking about money.
Money.
Last week, I made mention of the fact that if we really want to we have to make a foundation for our kids. The future of our kids. So today I'm trying to see if we can do some few mathematics here.
Wow.
Though I'm not a good mathematician, but I think with this 1+1 thing I can do it. Well, look at what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if the camera can capture it. Those of you who are on Facebook and then on YouTube, you can see it. That's what I'm trying to do. If a couple decides to save 50 cedis every month for 12 months, you are likely to get 600 cedis at the end of the first year or at the end of 1 year.
Okay.
If you're going to have about 600 cities at the end of every year. It is likely that for the next 10 years, you can, or you'll be able to accumulate about 1,200. What am I saying? 12,000.
Yeah, 12,000.
You'll be able to accumulate 12,000. So in the next 20 years, you should be able to accumulate 24,000. 24,000. I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right. If you are able to save 600 cities every year for 10 years, is 12,000 cities. Am I right?
Yeah.
12,000 cities. 600 for 10 years.
12,000.
Am I right? It's 12,000. So 600 for 20 years. By the time your child is 20 years old, you might have been able to save 24,000. So last week I was saying that at the age of 21 years, when your child, either 21 or 22 years, when your child finishes a tertiary institution, you should be able to hand to him or her a minimum of 10,000 cedis.
10,000.
I base it on such a calculation.
10,000 cedis.
10,000 cedis. If you are able to save 50 cedis every month, I don't think a couple who are working will not be able to save 50 cedis a month for a child. Now let's turn it the other way around. If I decide to save 100 cedis every month, a year is 1,200.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah.
1,200.
200.
And how much is that going to be in 20 years? Okay, I think I might be wrong with the 50 cedis calculation for the second one. But if we take it to be 100 Ghana cedis every year, I'm able to save 1,200. For 10 years, it's 12,000. For 20 years, that is the 24,000. So that's why I got it wrong. Yeah. So for 20 years, that's the 24,000. So if it's 50 years, for 20 years, it's going to be 12,000. So you should be able to give or hand over to your daughter or your son 10,000 cedis when the child finishes,
Doc, for example, if you have 5 children and you are average income earner, how were you able to accumulate such amounts and give to your child?
That is true. Madam, this is one of the reasons why we fail to do what is expected of us as parents. We like, it's very easy for us to do the hand to mouth.
Okay.
Very easy. But if we really want to make the lives of our kids comfortable for them, it's not going to be very easy, but you should be able to save at least 50 cedis. That is why it is always better you do a budget at the end of every month. You know what is coming in and you know what will go out. When you are able to do the budget, this is what happens. We know that we are getting 1,000 cedis at the end of every month and our expenses is around 900 Ghana cedis. Is there any of these expenses we can adjust, reduce, or do away with it? Yes, we can adjust somewhere. I think we are all aware that in situations where there are emergencies, when emergency comes, where do we get the money from? We immediately go and look for money somewhere.
That's right.
And make sure that we attend to those emergencies. Why is it that we cannot adjust when we are not in an emergency situation and save something for our kids in their for their future? There is no single individual. Let me put it this way. There are very few people who have made it in their lifetime. We can talk of somebody like Oprah Winfrey. She made it in her lifetime. You can talk of some few people who have made it in their lifetime. Most of us are not able to make it in our lifetime. Why? Because we started from from negative. By the time we were at zero, we were going to retirement. So if we are not able to give a foundation to our kids now, it is not going to help them in the near future. Let us give them foundation now so that they will be able to build on it and they can make it and make it big in their lifetime. Imagine a boy or a young guy or a young girl who have completed the tertiary with about 10,000 cedis in her account, with about 20,000 cedis in her account. Besides that, you've been able to maybe buy a plot of land somewhere for him
This
or
is
her.
Jafric Radio.
You've lessened her burden. You've lessened his burden.
This is Jafric
and
Radio.
he will be able to put into good use whatever money you hand to him or her. So please, it is not difficult. Now let me take it also from this angle. Those of us who are beyond the shores of Ghana, is it not possible to save in Japan, is it not possible to save like 5,000 yen a month for your child? Is it not possible? Even if they are two.
It's possible, and even they have the child rearing allowance
That is another
for
source
the
of income.
kids. And you know what? This allowance that the parents receive from the government, many people fight over it.
The husband
The
and the wife.
husband and the wife, because everyone wants to chop the money that belongs
to the
the
kids.
future of the children. So it has brought a lot of, problems in our marriages because of this little amount that we receive. That is even meant for the children and not for the.
Thank you.
This thing, it's all based on the mindset. You see where we are coming from with what my dear panelist is saying is also the problem. We were not brought up like that.
Yes, that's right.
That's it.
You are
So
right.
this kind of things become
You're right.
so difficult for us to do. But as we are learning now, if we don't have anything like that, we can start. It is not too late. We can start from somewhere. We should know that this world that we are in, everything, as Christians, everything that we have, it is given to us by our Father.
That's it.
And we should keep in our mind that we are caretakers, we are managers. So as he's saying,
Yeah, but I
think
think
there's a
a call is coming. So. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program. May I know your name and where you calling from?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your panelists.
Good afternoon.
My name is Oma Papa.
Oh, my Papa
I'm calling in
again.
again.
Thank you. Yeah, my Papa, go ahead.
Thanks for your good work,
Thank
and I
you.
like how you are breaking things down. I have one or two maybe contributions.
Okay, go ahead.
I also think that like the one of your panel was saying, the 10,000 at the age of 24, 20 years or something.
Okay.
I think that 10,000 cedis currently is a huge money. It's very good money.
Okay.
But I think that in 20 years time or in 22 years time, it will not be any money.
Yeah,
And so you
depreciation will
cannot,
set in.
give to such
This is Jafric
your
Radio.
child or your boy or whoever to start something.
Okay.
So I believe that the best thing is to invest in your child's education,
Okay.
because when you invest in your child's education, that amount saving aside might not all be all that necessary.
Okay.
But if we're able to put good measures in his or her education,
Okay.
I think that is a great contribution as a parent. And one other issue that parents do usually is difficult to save is the kind of economy we live in.
Okay.
It's difficult. For example, in a country back home, it's difficult, when it comes to saving money, because even sometimes money, salaries are not enough, are insufficient to take care of the home.
Okay.
So I think that, yes, it's a good plan, as he said, but I also think that there are so many reasons or factors that affect saving during in marriage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Omai Papa. Thank you so much for your great contribution. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Let me, Madam.
Omai
just a
Papa
moment.
is talking about
Yes,
yeah,
you see, I love the
insufficient
angle. I love
of
the angle
our-
from which you are talking. Let me put it this way: it's rather unfortunate. I think one of these days we have to do what is called financial literacy in marriage.
Okay.
Let me tell you one thing. You see, in financial literacy, you don't just go and put the money in the child account. That would be a waste. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be given an interest of about 1 or 2% for 1 year. I don't know. Whilst inflation is around 6, 7, 8, 9%. In the following year, that money you put at the bank will be useless, will be wasted, will be a waste. I wouldn't even call it investment. It's not investment. Putting money at the bank is not investment. There are investment portfolios, and you will have to know where to put your money, because you put it at a place where the interest is far more than the inflation rate. This is part of financial literacy in marriage. So, for example, if inflation rate is around 3%, you don't go and invest at a place where you get an interest of 2%. The value of the money will be eroded by the inflation, because the value of the money will go down by 3%, whilst only 2% of that money will be added to the original money. So you're not going to gain anything out of that. But if the inflation is around 3% and you try to invest at a place where you are able to get an interest rate of about 12%, when you deduct the 3% from the 12%, you are likely to get about 9%. So it is advisable to invest at places where your interest rate will be more than that of the inflation rate. I think we are here to go there. We'll go there, one of these days.
Don't you think that this thing has caused a lot of problems for Ghanaians, especially those higher interest rate agencies, that they have duped a lot of people and just taking their money away?
Yeah, how can see about now let me tell you. I want to say, baby, my 45%. The financial bubble. Because I've read a lot about the financial system. I will never go there. I would rather give my money to the government through treasury bill.
Okay.
I buy a wood.
A good crop bit yet.
So if I buy or I can decide to give my money about 10,000 cedis to government for 10 years. I don't care who comes into government. I don't care. At the end of my 10th year, I'll get my money.
That's right.
Because it's a loan you're giving to the government. Those are normally internally generated funds for the government. That is why I'm saying that we need a lot of financial literacy.
That's right.
Because it looks like all of us are blank. When it comes to finances, we don't even know where to invest. We don't even know how to save. Where to save. And those things, we don't learn it. And unfortunately, we don't, during our marriage seminars and so forth, most of these marriage seminars, they do not teach us. Most of them. I don't blame them, because and I think it's one of the reasons why, whoever is watching us, whoever is listening to us, must always tune into Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio, because we are here to teach. We are here to learn.
Okay. Enunti na wase mu tune into this radio na mutie, because ye woni pa ne bebra brakwiku o ma nko school awarefo ne bebre omu nim bibi etisa and o fire Ghana pa illiteracy rate no e was strong enti minima de obi hokra banking hokra no owura hokra wo suro wehu obi esi enti e won se ye nyanto boase na ye kyerɛkyerɛ won especially one a went to me enya kwenya entumi anko anim won masua mu kakra no se ne be ya won so abrabɔ no ebetumi atoto yie aha enti yesra mu aha ye wono yesua ade ye buama ye fia ye de no na nneoma sa ye de begugu enam no homa aye de yie no ye de ni nyina hyehyem ha enti misraw nyadaje so wo Ghana so wherever you are ubetimi ato credit na wo de log in your internet na watie ye na wo be wie no na wanya nyoma bebre na nyoma bebre nso wo ho no ma wo be hu e wo wawarem ene ne wo sa oye boa wo ma ene wa busua.
So as I was saying earlier on,
great,
the things that we get, we are talking about money. So the money that comes into our hand, we are supposed to manage it.
Great.
And God has a plan for money in marriage. If you read the Bible through, God has talked so much on money because it is a very important it is a very important element when it comes to marriage and our daily life. So the money that we have, we are supposed to manage it to glorify God and to make his purpose for the marriage also to be accomplished.
Great.
Last week we said that 3 things mostly bring misunderstanding: children, money, and sex. And we are talking about money now because it's very important. Brakweku has already said it, that we need education. Most of us, we don't have much education when it comes to this kind of things. That's why we hear it and it sounds so difficult. It gets to our mind and say, how is it possible? But once we put it in our mind, that
this is Jafric Radio.
You can. Because maybe, for example, if you as Christians, we have something that we call tithe. We pay tithes. So maybe you pay your tithe. So if you are able to pay your tithe, I think the savings too should not be anything that should be difficult. So maybe at the end of the month, you receive maybe 50,000. You pay your tithe 5,000. There may be savings, let's say 10,000.
Okay.
So you put it in your mind that at the end of the month, my salary is 35,000. So you don't even put your mind on your tithe and your savings. So everything that you want to do, when you plan, when you put it in your mind, you can. The greatest battlefield in our life is the mind. So when you set your mind on something that you want to do, you'll be able to do it. There was someone who asked me some time ago, I don't have savings. Where do I start from? So as I'm speaking now, we don't have any savings, and it's not too late. You can start anywhere. You can start. The starting is the most important thing. Maybe you started some time ago and it didn't work out. Maybe it was the man or it was the woman who was keeping the money or something. But so this way you can turn it over. Let this person be the
financier.
Yes, the financier. So the whole thing, it may sound so difficult, but once the two of us, the husband and the wife, we agree, we want to do it, there is nothing that is going to break that. It just started from the mind and work towards it.
Great.
It's difficult, but we can do it.
That's right. You know, the last caller made a very important point. Invest in your child.
Invest in your child education.
One of the most important thing as parent, idea was some year pa no boss no. Yabeba ho. Because the traditional, especially the traditional fathers feels that when they invest in their children, the kids, when they grow up and become better persons, they rather turn around and take care of the family members of the wife and not that of the man. Who comes to that? The typical, the traditional fathers. So he made a very important point there.
I think for you to be able to educate your children very well, you still need the savings. Without the investment, you cannot do that effectively.
I do agree with you.
Yes.
I mean, well, through our moderator, who can take time and come there, because you know what? In your active life, you don't only even invest in your children's education. You invest in the education of people who are other family members who come there. And I will tell you why you have to do that. Why you don't have to only invest in your kids' education, but rather in the education of other people who are closer to you. We'll take our time and come there.
Great.
This same financial inclusion thing, permit me to say that on the 6th of September, we'll be bringing 2 economists here. And we're going to talk about financial inclusion. Yay. And we'll be talking more on, from the economics point of view. And we'll be asking them tough questions. So wherever you are on the 6th of September, it's a Sunday around 6:30 in Japan time. Just make a time with us. We'll be talking about financial inclusion, and there are some wonderful revelations we're going to make on that section during that conversation or that interview on the 6th of September with those 2 economists.
Okay. Wow, it's getting tough. Yeah.
This is Jafric Radio.
Let me continue from here.
Yes.
Let me continue from here. We're talking about saving for the kids' future. We have to make it in such a way that wherever we are putting the money, we should go into agreement that whatever the situation or whatever circumstance that we find ourselves in, that money remains untouchable.
There it comes a problem.
You see,
we have to do our best.
I think so.
That's it.
That money should remain untouchable. We shouldn't touch it at all.
That's right.
If we go into any emergency, we should go and find money somewhere. It is this reason why we start. I think we started on a very good note. It is the reason that's why we started last week. That look, let's start with the budget.
Budgeting is very
Let's start with budget. Yeah, content you who says sika we na aba na beba. Entino, okay, adana yenya emergency fund bi nka say e kura yan fa be 10 cedi 20 cedis bi and to 20 sa in an emergency. Yeni beba ya so no. It's a big money. It's going to be a big money. So wherever you are, me pamocha mesremo. So one way uni wukum monye budget da. Monsun free ne. Yes de.
Great.
I would like to ask, you are talking about kids, investing in the kids, in our kids. How about couples, husband and wife, without any issue? They don't have children. How about that one?
I am very sure that if even you don't have kids, when there is an emergency, you will still attend to that emergency. So in that same manner, why don't you prepare for any future kids?
Future kids.
Yes. Why
And
don't
also
you do
can
that?
even support the family members who have.
Yeah, that is possible. That's why I'm saying we'll have time and talk about investing in other people when you are in active service.
Yeah, this reminds me of a call I got from a friend. Said he received money through the company gave cash to him, and the wife received money through bank.
Okay.
And what you want the wife to do is to withdraw the money and bring it home.
Okay.
For them to do the calculation.
Okay.
And the woman said, we can do the calculation whilst the money is still at the bank.
Okay.
And it has just brought a very big problem.
My goodness.
So what should they do?
Oh my goodness.
That's what he asked me.
You see, understanding your partner is one of the ways you can stay in a marriage. Understanding my body action or my body language can communicate something to you. Maybe how you understood it is different from what I was trying to tell you through my body language. I think this is something very simple. Let's do the calculation
with the money.
With the money.
Yes.
At site, on site or whatsoever. Inside.
Is could it be because the man does not trust the woman? The husband does not trust the wife? Or the wife does not trust the man? Or when we bring the money home, the man is going to dictate as to what we should use the money for.
Bring it and let's.
Because I simply can't understand. I think this is a matter of understanding. It has nothing to do with trust. It's understanding.
So how can we help?
So in this case, maybe the woman should try and ask, what is the difference? What is his reason for suggesting that you need to see the money before we do our budgeting? So maybe the explanation the husband
this is Jafric Radio
could help her. So everything you should try to understand. Maybe the man has a different reason from what she is thinking, the husband is thinking.
Okay.
So maybe you shouldn't think for him. Why did you say that? Maybe some actions of her made the husband to also bring that up, that he needs to see the money. So
yeah, I think
we should
so.
ask what the problem
because
is.
It has been like, let's spend the husband's money and then keep this one at my account. And the man also fears that at the end of the day, when this woman pack her things and go, everything.
So I think this is where the joint account something comes.
Sometimes it's very important.
Just withdraw and let's do the calculation.
Yes. It's a simple understanding. So what this person said, I said we should withdraw. I said no. I said we should withdraw. No, it will not bring peace. So still one person should be understanding. Ask questions. Ask questions. Then
and another one too is like we are in Japan. We are in but we pay monthly rent, and it's the responsibility of the woman. That's what they have decided.
Okay.
The woman to pay.
If that is the agreement between the two.
All the rents and those bills.
Okay.
And then the man takes the food.
Okay.
And the woman thought it's not fair.
Okay.
Because the husband needs to take the responsibility of the home. So she think that it's too much burden on her. So it has also brought a lot of problems. It said, okay, if that's it's like a partnership. So anytime I don't want you to go to Jerusalem, you will not go.
Oh my goodness!
Because you have divided the responsibility. And I'm also.
So what is the Jerusalem? Unfortunately, I don't understand.
Jerusalem
Israel?
Is no. Are you the only visitor in Jerusalem?
Jerusalem?
You're talking of sex.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's little things.
Happening. Look, renegotiation. Renegotiate. Sane be okunu ana oyire no ensantena sibio. Na won sign entoto niam yie. We can take a plan. Implement it. And by implementing this for maybe a week, a month, or two, we'll see that no, there are some flaws somewhere. We can go back and sit down and renegotiate and replan it.
Great.
It doesn't mean anything. We have experienced what we put on paper or what we put on the table, and we are seeing that there are a lot of flaws. We can correct this here, we can do that. So it is not. I mean, I don't agree with the woman saying that. Come on, if I'm taking more responsibility than you as my husband,
you would not,
the gates of Jerusalem is closed. I think it would be better you sit down with your husband, renegotiate with your husband. I think, my dear, this is too much for me because of this and that and that and that. He is a human being and he will understand it.
But is it good at all to just do that share?
No. In fact, it depends. It depends.
As we are talking about,
it depends.
Just budgets and
to be frank with you, if I am a man who is receiving like 2, 3, 4, 10 times that of my wife, I will not even put a single financial burden on my wife. Not even a single, not even 1% on my wife. If I'm receiving that much, I will not make that mistake. I will say a mistake. But in a case where, maybe we are receiving the same amount of money and the wife want to help, my wife want to help, I will give her that opportunity to help. I'll give her that opportunity. Yes, it is my responsibility to make sure that, I take care of the house. I would do that. But, I mean, most of our wives of today are more sensible and are more compassionate that they really want to help their husbands to take care of the house. So I think, I know you're spending about 1,000 cedis every month. Can I help you with about 200 cedis so that you take the care of it? I mean, I don't think it should be something difficult. That is why we always say that communication is one of the most important keys. Talk.
Say talk. Communication.
Don't keep silent.
This is Jafric Radio.
Communication.
It depends on the situation. It depends. And there are some cases where wives takes more than the husband. A sensible wife will not put all the burden on the husband.
Yeah.
Well, let me help you a bit. And what if the husband doesn't want to know? Doesn't want to show the wife how much he receives, and the wife also doesn't want to tell the husband how much she receives.
Okay,
that is where
please, Uncle, hold on there. The husband doesn't want to show the wife how much he receives. We have just 10 minutes to end this program, and the phone lines are still open. If you want to contribute, you call +8170. 4231 9331 and give your contribution, or you can still also send a text message on the same number or email at jafricradio@bay-side.biz.
There was one time a friend was asking me is it good to bring your money together, or it is okay to keep your money separately and share the responsibilities? Why she was asking is because maybe the woman, she's a part-time worker. The husband is a full-time. The money she brings is not that much. And another thing too is they have different time of receiving their salaries. Her salary is not constant. Maybe I know that at the end of the month I get 100,000 yen. Sometimes it can be
80,000.
less.
It can be higher.
Yes. So it's not stable. How is she going to do this thing? Is it must they have to join their money, or is it okay to keep it separately and share the responsibilities?
Okay.
It
It still boils down to budgeting, no?
Yeah. But budget in the day, we film pay. We go juma no. A business no we go no. We go no crack. You see, Dcns, that is why when we started with the finance aspect, I said if you don't have a reliable source of income, don't go into marriage. Don't go.
Wow. Another big blow.
Do you know, sometimes maybe you have a very good source of income. But because of marriage, you are married, children have started coming. You can't take up, for example, widows, especially outside.
Those
you can't take a full-time job.
Yes, those ones are exceptional. That is why a man, you see, for men, most of the responsibility lies on our shoulders. If you are not a man enough to take care of your house financially, there's something wrong with you. Oof. Unless you are a lazy man. If you are not, then there's something wrong with you. I mean, if you are a lazy man, then there's something wrong with you. You must always make sure that you keep your house going financially. In a case where the lady is working part-time, sometimes that is why, I mean, for you, our wives, we cannot stop loving you. You take so much responsibility in the house, yet you go outside there and still fight and make some money in order to come and support yourself and your future. You always do, a wonderful work out there.
Radio.
In a case where you are doing a part-time job and you're receiving something small, and you're thinking of, do we join the account? It is not an easy thing to say. It is not an easy thing to say whether you should have a joint account or a separate account. To me, as the man of the house, if I know you are doing a part-time job, I would rather encourage you. That is it is a personal thing. I'd rather tell you, please, keep your money. If I am doing a full-time job and I have a constant and a reliable source of income, I'll tell you to keep your money. I'll tell you to do that. Because there are so many things that ladies, you do with your money that we are not aware of. Wives do with their money of which the husbands are not aware of. If they sit down and calculate on daily basis how much they spend in keeping the household, I don't think men will be able to pay them. So to me, if you are not having a permanent job as a wife, I'd rather tell you to keep your money whilst I use my income to take care of the house. But if you feel that, as a wife, if you feel that you can also help the man, don't hesitate. Please do help. Because together, you can grow wealth. Together, you can grow wealth.
So with this, what you said, it all boils down to understanding.
And communication.
Understanding.
This is Jafric Radio.
Communication. I think so. As we are listening and watching, we should try as much as possible to understand each other.
Great.
And to make sure the communication is very, very good in our marriages. Other than that, it's going to be a disaster. So in this case, as you said, for men, you always want to take care of your home.
Thank you.
Yes. So if a man is not able to do that, they have stress.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And most men are very supportive
Exactly.
when it comes to
That is true.
So I think this place to the understanding comes. If maybe your husband is not able to do that, with the communication and the understanding, I think it will go a long way to help. So home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
We are making our home sweet.
Exactly.
And then I don't know if I can jump onto this because
Uncle Kweku,
okay.
let me read
All right.
one message that has come. It's from Kweku Nketia. He said, what
Enye better sao.
Yeah, we do agree with you, brother.
Enye better sao.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Okay. Enye better sao. We have just 2 minutes to go. Yeah, so just your final word.
Yeah, Dcns, one of the things that I think, I would like to bring up before we bring this show to an end is the plastic money.
Plastic money.
Plastic money.
Yes, there's plastic money. Yeah, what is that?
Plastic money.
I think maybe, I don't know if we're going to continue next week on this same topic. Plastic money.
Yeah.
Plastic money is putting families into huge debts.
Oh.
Plastic money. In our modern times, in those days when our parents used to do barter trading, give me Kobe, I'm a mouth bunch. Those days, for the calibrator.
Yeah, the body bromo.
Now, in our modern time, you see, I'm paying so we want money. And even in our modern times, you don't even see money circulating in the system. Your money is in the bank. Whilst you hold the ATM card, the credit card, the debit card, the what have you card, the cash card, the what have you. That is what I mean by the plastic money.
Okay.
It is a money.
Which mekaba.
And they've made it so simple.
Yes.
Back home, we have the mobile money. They made it so simple. And with the plastic money, so simple that you can buy millions of things at the same time when you don't even have the money.
The money with you. Pay it later.
So,
I think
okay.
we'll have
Oh, it's getting hotter. But we have to end here because of the our time.
Okay.
Sorry, let me just Mr. Rocky Opoku and family are listening to us from Holland.
Wow.
That's great.
Mr. Ricky Opoku and family, thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Okay.
What I would like to say is this money and marriage thing.
This is Jafric Radio.
And it sounds something in our ears. We see it to be too difficult to do, especially when it comes to the savings. It is a family without a saving is in for disaster. So you might be there, maybe you don't have any saving as we are speaking now. What I would like to tell you is you don't have to worry. You can start right away. Now.
Right.
Since you are still alive, you have the strength in you are able to work. Sit down with your husband or with your wife, plan. It's about planning. Put it in your mind and you will be able to do it. So all hope is not lost.
Put it in your mind. Plan well as a family and you will be able to do it. Viewers, thank you so much for being with us for these 2 hours. Let me quickly acknowledge our sponsors that made this program possible to you. It's Bayside Modeling Agency, the Church of Pentecost Japan, Zion Company Limited, Afrokids Japan, Simon Noble Solicitors, Tomeric Hotel at East Legon, Willie Knox, Janes, 1225 Janes, and Fenan Enterprise. If you want to sponsor this program too, you can still just come and we will be appreciated to have you sponsoring this program. And before we end, we just want to thank our panelists today. It's the person of Mr. Kweku Edu and Dcns Naomi Zotto. She is the Dcns of the Church of Pentecost and also the National Women's Ministry leader. And my name is Abena Pomaa Forkuo. You can call me Abena Pomaa. And we have our engineer. It's in the person of Mr. DJ Clemsy. And then the producer, Mr. Pod, P-O-D. And also the executive producer of this program is Mr. Pope. You can call him P-O-P. And after this program, we have African Today. South African Today coming your way on Jafric Radio at 6:30 p.m. Japan time. Until we meet again next week, we say sayonara.
She want know the coco, yeah. But I want to give you some love. She talks out the coco, she still want know the coco, yeah. If money no day, now wait till she can. She tell me say she got run away, she got run very far away, yeah. As the rubber don't day, the baby come the mail. See the baby don't come again. You don't forget back in a day. I've been the beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. I be you one make a die. It no easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money. Month of December, no loving, no caring, no tender. You rejected my love cause I was broke. I've been the enter Okada high. For me to matter straight to another hay. How I wish, say, you believe me. Back then in Bangladesh, those days in Junior Puja. You insist, hey, you don't need me. Can I try everything to spend my life with you? I've been they beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. I be you one make a die. It no easy for me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. Say one for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. One for the money, two for the dough, three for the shorty. Now I don't blow. Say one for the money. So she say she got run away. She got run very far away. As the rubber don't day, the baby come the mail. See the baby don't come again. You don't forget back in a day. I've been the beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get today, I go get them tomorrow. I be you one make a die. It no easy for me. If I don't get today, get them tomorrow. I've been the beg you to try. Reason with me. If I don't get to